Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today I'm planning to talk about my reservations when it comes to Geo, and kind of a little bit of a warning for anyone who's new to Geo, or like who's kind of thinking of getting into Geo Supremacy. As someone who's a big Geo enjoyer, kind of like I want to tell the things that a lot of content creators don't want to talk about when it comes to investing into Geo and the kind of commitment Geo is. Well, as you can see from how much damage my Noel could take, a lot of Geo characters are tankers, right? But one thing is, a lot of them have a lot of different purposes, right? They have multi-purposes. Albedo and the EM share with the off-field damage, Zhongli with the shield, shred, and petrification, Noelle with her healing as well as shielding type of thing. Like, you can kind of see that both, and a lot of them are capable of a lot of damage, but they also have a lot of utility, so they have multiple things that they do. So when I see a character like Itto, he kind of seems, and for Ning Wong, she has at least she's able to be a battery at C2 by the two doors. It is on a 6-second cooldown, but she's able to kind of battery characters by breaking the door on enemies twice. You can get a lot of particles back for it, and she's able to boost other Geo characters if they walk through her screen, and she can burst down a lot of with a lot of damage as well. So, like, you can kind of see all of these characters have multiple things that they can offer to a team. While Itto, on the other hand, feels like he's very, very much a Zhao type of main DPS. But the thing about Itto is that I'm worried about the kind of stuff he offers to a team. Is he just going to be Zhao? Because Zhao has a very specific and unique gameplay style, well, as opposed to Itto, he kind of plays a lot like you see Noelle. So at the end of the day, it's like, alright, so you don't really get a unique playstyle. You don't really get anything that he provides to the team. What exactly is he doing, right? Let's say for Raiden Shogun, right, she is an amazing battery, at the same time is able to output a lot of damage as well, right? But then I look at Itto, like, I don't see anything that he does. So one thing I'm going to be heavy focusing on is his damage numbers, right? Both for free-to-plays, because from what I can see so far, if he does play a lot like Noelle, he's going to be free-to-play friendly, right? You can use the Geomain Traveler for CC as well as energy. You can use White Blind, and you're basically going to be good, right? But for the most part, even with that aside, the thing is, right, so you now need to have, alright, the Geomain Traveler, so you can't use any other version of him if you need Animal Traveler, unfortunate. So you're going to have Animal Traveler, Itto, and hopefully Goro. Because after your summoning sessions, and if you have no Goros, it's really going to be sad, I feel like, playing with C0 Itto, because frankly, it's kind of like Raiden. Raiden is great at C0, and she's an Archon, right? So it's not really gonna be the same thing. But at C0, if you're really trying to use her as a hyper carry type of thing, and not in like with Xiangling, Bennett, and Jinchou, like you're using her by herself without Sara, and specifically C6 Sara, she doesn't feel as good, and I'm afraid that Itto's going to be the same. So if you don't get any Goros, it's just going to be like, alright, I'm going to be doing a lot of testing without Goro just to see if they're basically going to be tied together. From even the trailer, it seems like they're going to be, but hopefully it's not the case. If it's not the case that he's going to be tied to the hip with Goro, then yeah, you have your Geomain Traveler, you have Goro, Ningguang potentially, maybe Albedo from the previous banner, or maybe Zhongli, ideally Zhongli. So, but that's going to lead on to my next point, is that because of how Geo is, a lot of people don't understand, I think, what the Geo buffs were. Essentially, the Geo buffs were, if you want to be able to get the same or similar strength to other teams that vaporize, melt, and and freeze type of comps, you're going to need Zhongli, right? Because Zhongli is one of the few ways for you to get enough shred or get enough damage boosting where you'll be able to somewhat match up with a lot of the other teams. Now, if you don't really do Abyss, Sure, you know, maybe damage isn't really everything to you. Maybe it's the way he plays, but then again, he plays like Noel, so it's like, maybe you just need like, you don't want Noel because maybe he'll be faster than she is. Okay, then, alright, sure, no problem. But if you are a player that does care about damage and wanting to be able to finish, you know, domains a bit faster or things like that, or not take hours on domains, I think the one thing is, if you want to see, like, alright, I got Itto, what do I do now? Is it worth to build him? It's like, I'm going to now answer your question with a question. Are you willing to build him? Are you willing to go all the way to 90 with him? Because he's a defense scaler. Defense scalers love going to level 90, and it is worth it. Way more worth it than it is to 90 a lot of other characters. So you need to 90 him. You know, a lot of their strength comes from their talent multipliers, so you want to get him as high as possible, potentially 999 if he's going to be your main DPS. So you want to do that to him. Now, and for Goro, if you have him at C4, you're going to really want to get his defense as high as possible, so he will also be 90. Otherwise, you still want to get him 90 because you know, the defense is a big part of his kit as well. So you look at it now, in order to build Itto, you have to commit to building both, right? If you want to be able to play Itto properly. So now it's going to be resin expensive because you need to get the artifacts for him. You need to make sure you got weapons for both of them. You got to probably level 90 Itto's weapon because you know, he's still going to care about you know, having his weapon as high as possible. And so you have artifacts, you have talents, you have the level, you have weapon, right? And it's like, oh, every character's like that. Not really, right? Like, there are characters you can leave at 80 out of 80. Like a lot of the competitive DPSs, like Shao, like Ganyu. But for him, he's going to definitely take a lot. He's definitely going to take a lot of, you know, of investment, and that's the thing with Geo. Geo is a very expensive element. As you've seen, I heavily invest into my Geo characters. I make sure all their talents are as high as possible, and, you know, except for Noel right now, but I make sure to get their talents as high as possible, because really that's how you can really feel impactful with them. So I would say before you roll on to Itto, he potentially can be free to play friendly-ish, depending on how your rolling session goes, and good luck on that, by the way, and how many Goros you get and stuff like that. But also, you know, and obviously that White Blind, he's most likely going to be able to use White Blind, so he's free to play accessible, but only if you have the characters for it, and you're really ready to live in domains. Type of stuff, because you're gonna have to be staying in domains for quite some time if you want to be able to play these characters. But if you love him enough, hey, good luck on your summons, and I hope you get Goro and Itto.